hitting a baseball is one of the most difficult things in the world in sports. Like, if not the most difficult thing, like you can only have one thing in your head, dude. So me, before I stepped in the box, I'd be like,
Ardiaga drives one to center. Miller hustling over. Diving catch by Ian Miller. A great catch.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the 9-Hole Podcast with David and Ian. David, what is going on, brother?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, dude.
2024 coming in hot.
That's right.
Did you have a good Christmas?
I had a good Christmas, man. I was visiting some family. I got this new light that is shining on me, so might take a little getting adjusted to. But
looks good.
Man, I love it. Thanks, dude. So I'm able to play with the background a little bit. So I turned off the lights in the back, dude. I'm starting to, fuck around with some of the. I'll move some stuff around. Yeah. I'll get it right, dude. What's did you get anything worthwhile, or did you receive anything for for Christmas, like an axe or something that is worthwhile? Like, did you get anything cool?
I just showed you that. My dad got me this axe. I'm not really sure what to do with it.
This hatchet. Okay. Yeah. That's all purpose.
Hold it right here and I don't know. He said keep it in my car.
Yeah. Oh, that makes it.
I was like, thanks, Dad. That's awesome.
Love it. You never
it works for me. I got that blanket back there. That's a Pendleton blanket. I think that's actually expensive. I'm not sure, but it's like a New Mexico, Santa Fe, Texas-y kind of style. My mom got me that. It's crazy. This time of the year, I mean, you and I were trying to connect to do this, and it's like, well, I'm driving to Texas, and it took me 8 hours to drive to Texas to go see my family, and then your family was in town, and yeah, dude, it's this time of the year is hard because we're still working, trying to see anyone and everyone that's ever been a part of your life, family, but I want to just take a long nap.
I love that. I wish I could take one of those, dude. I just feel like there's a million other things that pile on that. Yeah, dude. Naps would be good. But obviously there's been some signings since we've got on here.
Insane signings. Billions of dollars spent. $1 billion spent.
Yes, that influence baseball moving forward. Like it's changing game plans. It is changing the way that organizations are structured. It'll change the way that they draft. It'll change the way that they scout. It'll change the way they do, business and try to shape their competition moving forward. It influences all that stuff. Obviously talking about the Dodgers and what's going on there. But there was some good football played this weekend. Some good football played. I'm an Eagles fan. Big time to see them show up, get a W. Yeah. George W. Dude, what did you think? Did anything jump out to you? Did you see anything crazy on the gridiron?
Well, it's hard. I used to be crazy about fantasy football, and now I'm whatever. I keep up with some old buddies doing it, but so I have 2 leagues that I keep up with my buddies in here, and then my ex teammates. We got big leaguers are doing very well right now in the league, and guys that are like me that were in AAA and have real jobs now, whatever. But so I have Jalen Hurts in one league, and then I have DeAndre Swift, the running back, in the other league. And the Eagles do this thing called the tush push.
The brotherly shove?
Yeah, because Jalen Hurts, anytime they're on the goal line, gets a touchdown. But from my other side of the league, I hate it because DeAndre Swift will run all the way up there, do some crazy run, get on the 1 yard line, and then they go, here, Jalen, just get behind Kelsey and push yourself in.
The douche push.
It's frustrating, but there's some big football this weekend.
So, Tommy Cutlets, Tommy DeVito, the Giants quarterback, dude. There's been a whole lot of buzz around him.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, he stunk. Yeah. Tyrod Taylor came in there and kind of looked nasty. So I think he was making $5.5 million this year. I don't fully know the story behind the Giants, QB, fucking, what's been going on, but
Daniel Jones was their stud. He was a first rounder. really good talent,
I
but
know that name. Yeah, they were
yeah,
building
he got
around this
hurt.
kid.
Danny Dimes, yeah, he got hurt.
Danny Dimes. Okay.
Um, but that's what's hard. Like we've talked about this with like an MLB 10-year guy. Like for him to make it to the big leagues is one thing, and then to get to the big leagues and stay there is like insane. I think it's the same thing with NFL. Like these guys' careers are much shorter because of the pain they endure every Sunday or whatever they play. But like for a quarterback, maybe like to go off of and prepare for like the scheme of, say they were playing the Eagles or whatever, and he might show out against a secondary that's a little weaker, and then the next week there's a team preparing for a whole week to go up against you, and so the quarterbacks to go in, week out, and do well is incredibly hard. So that's why I think you see teams changing. And even Russell Wilson, did you hear about that? He got
He
benched
got
for the last 2 games.
yeah. So there is he taking a decrease in salary?
No, they want to. So like they owe him a lot of money,
Okay.
but they're going to probably try to make a move from him this offseason because they don't see a fit, whatever.
So does he
But
still
so they
get
don't.
paid?
Yeah, they just don't want him to get hurt. So like if he gets hurt, his stock plummets. But
Okay.
if he's healthy going into the offseason, but they're also like kind of in the hunt for a playoff. Like some crazy shit could happen and they can make the playoffs. So I don't agree with it. They're looking towards the future, but whatever. If I was
Hmm.
Russell Wilson, I'd be like, this is stupid.
Hmm. So
Businessman.
I saw he got yeah, I saw he got there was some stuff going on, man. I also saw that like Bill Belichick got caught up in some stuff with like deflated balls again. So I guess some kickers were I guess uh so the balls that they use in game are inflated to a certain
PSI, yeah.
psi, and these balls were deflated, dude. I guess there was some stuff around that, dude. Aside from that, man, there's been some good football going on. There hasn't really been a whole lot of like stuff other than competitive games that have stood out to me, dude. I hope the Eagles win it. Obviously, I hope the Eagles win it.
I don't think anyone's gonna beat the Ravens.
Ooh,
They played the 49ers last week and made the 49ers look bad. And the 49ers I thought, were the favorite.
okay.
So Brock Purdy was the favorite to win the MVP by
He got
like,
intercepted a little bit.
yeah, he got his ass kicked. But now that completely flopped. Lamar Jackson jumped up. Christian McCaffrey's number 2, I think,
Ooh,
and Brock Purdy fell down a couple. It'd be
damn.
awesome if a running back won the MVP. But yeah, Brock Purdy, what he's done, Mr. Irrelevant, like one of the last draft picks, like nobody. He's played exceptionally well. 49ers defense is really good, but for the Ravens to come in and do what they did against the Niners is they're good.
Okay, okay. Um, dude, the Dodgers signing big players. Obviously, Tyler Glass. Now we knew that. Yamamoto and Ohtani, dude. So that's almost $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion for those three players, dude. It's going to be tough to compete. I mean, it's going to be tough to. How could you
I
say
don't even
that
know how
these
it's
dudes are going to
legal.
win?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know how it's
I mean,
legal.
so it's deferred money, right, with Otani, dude. But I don't know how you're going to be able to compete against a team like that. The way that I feel about it, though, dude, is there's going to be a whole lot of like superstardom in that locker room that is notorious for obviously attention, and they're the Dodgers, dude. It's Los Angeles, like that's the Dodgers. That's one of the most storied franchises, and you have a whole bunch of big dicks in the same locker room, and they're all dudes, and they're all going to be it's maybe that dynamic might be tough. There's going to be a lot of pressure. The expectations are going to be crazy, but it's going to be like it would be tough for me to like argue against
Yeah, if they
them
don't win,
winning.
it's a failure.
Yeah.
It's a wasted. I like what they're doing because it goes to show that they do have. That's all they care about is winning. But I mean, this kind of reminds me a little bit of like the big three with the Miami Heat: LeBron
Oh,
James, Dwayne Wade, and what
Chris
was his
Bosh.
name? Yeah, Chris Bosh.
I don't know what
And
that
like
accent was.
they won one, I think, or two. I don't know, but there was a lot of dynamic between the teams that in the team that was very controversial and publicized, that too many big egos in there fighting for attention. But Yamamoto is still so young, he's 25 years old. He's going to be new to Major League Baseball, new to the States. And I don't see Ohtani he's not an ego guy. So I'm hoping that those two big names there, but they still got everyone else,
It'll be a cool dynamic to see. It'll be cool how it all plays out, dude. So Yamamoto is not a big dude. Like
No.
5'11", what was it?
I had him
5'11".
listed at 5'10" on one.
Okay, 5'10". Yeah. Something like that. Like he's not a
180
big dude.
pounds. Yeah.
Signed, monster contract, right? $325 million, dude. It's there's still a whole bunch of other moves, I guess, that people that need to sign, but the way that kind of how we opened up, right? It influences the market. It influences how like certain teams can build moving forward. It also influences everybody else signing. So once the big chips are kind of off the table, you can start making, plans moving forward. So now that like Ohtani and Yamamoto are obviously off the table, like dude, that kind of paves the way for everybody else to get things going. So like
Blake Snell.
Blake
Yeah.
Snell, Cody Bellinger's looking for big money.
Yeah, I don't
Hater,
understand
that lefty,
closer,
that
late inning guy.
yeah. He's those guys are looking for a lot of money, but obviously it's going to be able to like pave the way a little bit and open some things up, dude. So maybe there'll be action coming soon.
Yeah, which would be good. I read a crazy stat on Blake Snell that kind of pissed me off a little bit. So I
Let me
think
hear it.
he's had two. I think he's won one Cy Young, or he's been up for two. And in those years, or the only 2 years, he threw over 180 innings.
Ooh,
Every other year, he's been like 120, 130. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're trying to get big ass money like he is, you need to be going 200 plus innings.
yeah, if you're a dude like that.
Yeah, and it's not these guys that evaluate that. Like, why would you give a guy $300 million if he's going to give you half a year, 60% of a year?
For sure. Yeah, there's a whole lot of like data and the front office aspect of it, dude, with the scouting and like how do you value these dudes? Are they worth it? Right? Are they worth? I don't know, man. So we just had Will Venable on, who is the dude. He's on the coaching staff with the Rangers, the
Mm-hmm.
associate manager. Just won a World Series. He had like a brief 1 year stint in the front office as like a special assistant, dude. So I had some questions for him. Just like, man, the evaluation process, like what separates people. There's a whole lot of shit that goes into it, dude. So at least I'm excited to see like what happens with the Dodgers. I saw that Mitch Garver signed a 2 year banger with the Mariners.
Yeah,
That seems like somebody
25
that the
mil.
Mariners would probably like go after, right?
Like, yeah, that's crazy. 2 year deal, $24 million. So he's making $12 million a year.
It's going to back
You
up
know,
Cal.
I know Ohtani deferred whatever his payment, but he was going to make $70 million a year. Think about the difference in that. It's like I want to still talk about Garver, but so the Dodgers spent $1 billion, right? $1.2 billion. I read another article the other day that our tax dollars, or like your local tax dollars, or whatever, go to building these stadiums. It's like these massive stadiums, or whatever. Like our money
Yeah.
goes into building those, and then the Dodgers or these big market teams, or whatever, like they have $1 billion to spend on two players, whatever. Like they're making money hand over fist, while we are paying for probably improvements to the stadium or their stadium in general, or like when Vegas the A's moved to Vegas, like I don't know, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I know I'm going off on a side note there, but
Nah, dude. Nah, that makes sense. So yeah, I'd be interested to see like how much, right? How much goes that way?
it's all these big TV contracts now, and I mean That's where I think they're making the most money. But you look at a $40,000 fan stadium, and they got to pay for vendors and concession stands and employees and all that. But a hot dog at a Dodger game is probably $13. A beer is probably $17. Like,
Oof.
they're making so much money. And if they get, I mean, this right here has been good for baseball. Like Yamamoto, Ohtani, big market like LA. Like, regardless of how you want to spin it, it's good for baseball. Like, I texted you the other day, there's a brand new documentary movie thing on Ohtani on Disney Plus.
Yeah. It's what
Like
they're
hour and
supposed
a
to
half.
do.
Yeah. Hour and a half movie. And he's like, I only watched little clips of it, but he's like the most humble guy. I text you, he's got a vision board. He's got
Yeah.
all these post-it notes on it, and he'll say, I want to hit 30 bombs or something. And he'll write it on a post-it note, put it on the wall. And he says that if you see something, you visualize it more, and it's easier for it to come true. Best player in the world, maybe the best player of all time, doing the little things that we talk about.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, dude. So I don't have fuck, man. I don't have access to the Disney Plus thing. I was on my mom's account. Changes have been made. Same with the Netflix thing, dude. They're like limiting the amount of people can be on it. It's devastating.
You can have
Um,
mine.
I don't know if that would work because it's the
Maybe not.
household thing now, dude. It's the household thing now. They limit that. Alex Verdugo was with the Red Sox,
You say he's talking a lot of shit. He
dude.
seems like that, though.
Yeah, yeah. He's with the Red Sox. Got traded over to the Yankees. Obviously, there's a big rivalry there, and he's kind of like shit talking the Red Sox a little bit, saying like he's looking forward to a fresh start. He's looking forward to like a manager that has his players' backs, which is obviously like a
Yeah.
slap, right? Um, and he's ruffling feathers, dude. Uh, so like I don't know what he's doing, man, but he's throwing dirt right on Cora, the ex-manager with the Red Sox. Kind of seems a little classless, dude. What do you got on that, dude? What I mean is that just trying to maybe bring some hype to him and his name, or like what do you got?
Yeah. I mean, I would never do anything like that. I was never a caliber of player that could get away with that. I don't know if any player necessarily is, but it's almost kind of like watching a fight camp for like a UFC fighter. They say all these horrible things about the other guy, their coaches, their wives, whatever, and then they get done fighting and they give each other a hug and make up. So like, there's no such thing as bad press, and I don't know if that's him and his like an agent or his team trying to just get more eyes on him, or if he's really just like a cocky butthead that butted heads with Cora. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Just seeing the way he plays, seeing like, dude. So he got benched twice this
Flashy.
past year.
Yeah.
One for not hustling, and the other for being late to a required like team thing, whatever it was. What if it was stretch or whatever? He just banged it, showed up late, and wasn't playing hard, got benched. Saying he's looking forward to a fresh start. I mean, dude, those are two things that you can control and like not fuck around with, and like you can put in the effort, you can show up on time. So who knows? I think there's probably a just thinking about the Yankees, thinking about that they're probably pretty strict,
Yeah, their
right? They got to
culture is
shape.
not that's not going to fly.
I don't know how it's going to work out, but maybe something happens. I think he looked super dumpy with that beard. I also say that, and I have like a super dumpy beard, uh, but like he looks a lot better with it shaved. Yeah, he looks a lot better
But
with
I
it
mean,
shaved.
anything like if he's kind of a cancer, kind of a punk that he kind of seems to be, there's not a bigger organization out there to kind of clean him up a little bit, appearance wise and maybe internally, than the Yankees.
Be a nice fresh
So like
start, dude.
maybe that's all he meant. Like maybe he's looking for a kind of a turn of the page of a new book, and he's gonna get it with the Yankees, man. They're so like Mike Talkman, my former teammate, super good player. He played with the Yankees for like 2 years, and I asked him. We're in the same fantasy league together, and I asked him about that culture and how strict it is and stuff. And he's kind of a my way or the highway kind of guy. Like he's just confident. He works his ass off. He's a very good player, and I thought that maybe he wouldn't like that, but he said it's the way a team should be run. and he said he loved every bit of it.
Yeah, I see that. I bet, dude. It's awesome. The tradition and yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Imagine
That'd be
like
cool.
I think that'd be the best place to play in the world if you were playing well. If you were playing bad, I wouldn't want to go to work.
Yeah, dude. Yes. Yes, yes. Obviously, any type of market, you're in the big leagues, there's a buzz about you. People are talking about you online. People know who you are. But dude, you go to like the biggest markets, LA, New York, uh, where else?
I mean,
Shit.
those are the two
Yeah.
biggest ones by far.
Dude.
Rangers are kind of getting up there. Dallas is huge, but
Yeah.
I mean, imagine being like a Derek Jeter.
Oh,
You go
Aaron
into
Judge.
you go into a prime steakhouse and you're the shortstop for the New York Yankees, and they're at max capacity, and you walk in with no reservation, and they go, "Oh, Mr. Jeter, your table's waiting for you."
Sir.
Yeah, sir. Like, can I get
Poppy.
you anything? Yeah, like, because that guy produced so long at such a high level, won championships. Like, he had everything, but like the pressure. I told you that I
Yeah.
heard that story about Judge like not getting an apartment for like his first full year because he was like, I'm gonna get sent down. It's the New York Yankees, and now he's the face of the franchise.
Yeah, that's got to be tough, dude. That's got to be tough. Speaking about face of the franchise, dude, MLB's making some more rule changes. So they're taking 2 shots or 2 seconds off of the shot clock for runners on, right? So there's a shot clock. The rules are different. Pickoffs are different. They're trimming 2 seconds off of that shot clock in between pitches with runners on, and the first base base path is wider, right? So the running lane going home to first is going to be a little bit wider, and mound visits will be reduced from 5 to 4 per game, as the
They
league said
rank.
they rank among fans' least favorite events in baseball. Dude, what do you got on these further rule changes?
I can kind of agree with the. That's probably not fun for a fan to watch. Like, I mean, back when we were playing, every pitching coach in the big leagues was like 84 years old. I swear, and they take like I don't know 11 minutes to walk out and go talk to the guy. I don't know if I ever had. I know it's sometimes to give you a break, but I don't know if I had necessarily a super productive mound visit in my career.
Dude, so
You
what's
know,
said? What is like I've never ever ever in high school I didn't pitch, college, pro ball, anything. Never been a part of a mound visit. Don't have no idea what goes on in there, dude. What's said? Like what is it
yeah,
about?
it could be a funny joke. It could be, hey, you're at 94 pitches. You're going to 100. This is probably your last guy. Give him everything you can. Um, Runner at second base is getting a big lead. Like watch his secondary. Just any little thing that they see, or he could come out and say, "Hey, this hitter up here hates changeups." Just something to kind of, or it could just be to give you a break. There's so
Okay.
many times that they came out there, patted me on the butt, and said, "Hey, man, I'm just giving you a little breather. We got so and so warming up in the bullpen. It's probably your last guy. This is your game to lose, kind of thing." But I bet in the big leagues, it's more strategic. Um, but I can't see how, like, Pierpont, uh, pitching coordinator now with the Mariners. He says they don't even talk about mechanics at all.
Really?
Yeah, no mechanical talk whatsoever. He thinks that if you got to that level and you throw, 94 or whatever these kids are throwing, that they work on like pitch variation and like, making pitches better, or hey, that pitch sucks. You either need to work on it or scrap it. And this is your best pitch and you need to throw it. But they don't do anything. Like he gets pissed off, and he's changed a lot his like perception on this, but he gets pissed off when people are like super mechanical because he thinks it takes away from some guys.
Hmm.
Kind of makes
Okay.
sense, but I'm big on mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So those those mound visits, right, are somewhat of about they're about forming some type of strategy, maybe getting a pitcher back on track or like filling him in on something that's coming up, kind of like putting your heads together with the catcher, maybe the infield comes in, whoever it is, and you guys talk strategy. That's
Hmm.
kind of something like making a plan is something that I wanted to talk about. Just in talking with these like baseball coaches, they talk about having a plan. Um, everybody has a plan, but kind of what the way that I broke it down, right, is everybody has a plan depending on if you're going up and facing a dude that's throwing 100, or you're going up and you're facing a dude that's throwing like 88, or he's a lefty. Whatever it is, like everybody's got a plan. But being able to implement that plan and stick to it in between pitches, right? If you're a hitter, or in between pitches, if you're a pitcher, is the separator between making millions of dollars and getting cut, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, like, dude, the talent's big. But being able to stick to that plan, and like maybe that in between pitch 14 seconds, like mastering that. I don't know what it is, dude. I could never like
Pretty
unlock
quick.
it. I could never
Yeah.
unlock it. But they're, dude, the MLB rule changes. They're taking 2 seconds off the clock, so it's going to be fucking quicker in between pitches, man. Like I think personally, mastering that in between 14, 15 seconds, dude. I think that's the difference between making millions of bucks in the sport and like not making it.
Well, yeah, and this isn't even like necessarily advice because I wasn't good at it. It's just my input. But if I watch a big league game from the watching the pitcher, behind him, I can read swings. I can tell you what pitch is coming next. I could tell you what I would throw. But in the actual heat of the moment, when I was in control, when I had the baseball, I was not good at that. And that's probably why I'm not playing anymore. I sometimes turned into a robot. I'd have a pitch in my hand, knowing, what I wanted to throw, and then insecurities or lack of confidence or whatever, catcher would call something. I'd be like, okay. But now, like outside perspective, kind of out of body thing, I can read hitter swings, what I would throw, like, oh, he got jammed. I would come back with this, elevate, whatever. But when I was actually doing it, I was not good at that. And again, I don't necessarily have advice for that. You got to be mentally tough. You got to be confident in yourself. All the things that go into that. But I think that and being able to master, kind of like you're saying, is massive. Because if you can't be in control and know what's next step, how are you going to win?
For sure. So Jamie Moyer talked about this. He said some guys some guys are just negative as shit, and they have a negative cloud around them. The way that he kind of envisioned things, the way that he talked, like, and saw things kind of playing out was positive. Like, you're in your ability, like you have belief in your ability, being positive, seeing things in a positive light, like seeing yourself getting a pitch, seeing yourself executing on a pitch, like seeing yourself doing it. Mr. Mariner, Alvin Davis, dude, I haven't spoken to him in years. But I always asked him like Alvin, what did you do? What did you think about? What did you see? What was kind of like your pre-pitch routine in between at bats, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I'll never forget it. He said that he would visualize pitches that he would like get, or that he would look for, and getting them and what they would look like and be ready for them. Not so much like seeing a double in the gap.
Yeah, like
He
what,
would he
coming
would
in.
he would look at it coming
Yeah,
in. Like,
it's like
he
a
would
video game.
visualize getting a pitch. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, that's different. That's different. That's different. He's got a different way of doing it, but like maybe that's something that you could do to implement. I don't know, man. Like, the difference between his success and maybe somebody else's success is the way that they can treat those 14 seconds or 15 seconds, or the way that they see themselves, their career, their athletic ability. Maybe it's like a positive versus negative thing, dude. But I seriously do feel like that that mental that mental break in between pitches, dude, that is the separator. Like, being able to win that is the separator. Obviously, we were coming up with the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole bunch of stuff that was, mindset focused, mental skills focused, dude. Andy McKay was, the farm director at the time. He's since progressed. I think he's the assistant general manager of the Mariners now. He tweeted something, I think, in 2021. I might have mentioned it before, but he said something like, "Now I'm gonna have to find it." Like, getting into the box, you can only think of one thing. Like, you can
Yeah.
only have one thing in your mind as you're going into the box. Like, that's how difficult hitting is. Hitting in baseball is one of the most difficult things in the world in sports, like, if not the most difficult thing. Like, you can only have one thing in your head, dude. So, me, before I stepped in the box, I'd be like, okay, fastball, just fastball. I'd see, think, react, be on time for everything fastball. Like, dude, I just think, I don't know, man. Like, maybe that's pre-pitch routine. Maybe that's, you know, incorporating a new routine. But like, how big of a, like, what did that play into you and your ability and like how you competed on the mound, dude?
Yeah. I mean, Alvin Davis watches these, by the way. He sent multiple of these to my dad.
No way.
Yeah. Or my
That's
dad maybe
sick.
sends them. Maybe my dad sends them to him or something.
Fires me
But
up.
yeah, he likes them. He sent one of these to Pierpont, I believe, and was like, "Hey, you need to watch this." And I think it was the
Awesome.
Randy Johnson one. But yeah, I
Love
think that
that.
visualization, and that's where my career took a big change in a positive direction when I had that strong mindset and like, hey, everything's going to be okay. Kind of like almost like a Bob Marley hippie. I was still competitive, but I was like, hey, life is okay. Like I got a beating heart. I got a family who loves me, all that stuff. I would think about that stuff. I got a cool dog, whatever. But I
Yeah.
would visualize pitches, and I'm telling you, like I would think of like situations that would happen. Like guy gets on first base, I'm like, I'm going to get a ground ball here to the shortstop. He's going to flip it to the second baseman. We're going to turn a double play. I'm going to walk into the dugout. And more often than not, that would happen. And if it didn't, I'd try to keep that perspective to be like, okay, guy got through with a weak ass ground ball, tip your cap, found a hole, but my plan didn't change. When I sucked, I was like, I got reacted so poorly to if that ground ball snuck through.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it, my plan fucking sucked. Like that should be a routine ground ball play. And then I'd walk the next guy, bases loaded. Damn it, wow, that was a perfect pitch. And then triple off the wall, whatever. It can start to spiral really, really
Yeah,
quickly.
dude.
But when I was like, hey, I'm going to execute a pitch, like to kind of go back to what I was saying about, I wish I maybe had a little bit more control. The catchers, for the most part, especially at the higher levels of minor league baseball or in the big leagues, have a pretty damn good understanding. And I knew sometimes I could take the pressure off me mentally to be that locked in. And I knew if I executed a pitch, statistically, something good was going to happen. You could throw a perfect pitch, you could get crushed. But if I executed a good sinker down and in or whatever, if my catcher read a poor swing and I execute a changeup, like if you threw it right, good things were going to happen. If you left it up, if you maybe got on the side of it, whatever. But I just try to do one pitch at a time. I know it's cliche, but I didn't want to get too ahead of myself. My Uncle Brad used to do a thing. It's kind of like a visual, almost like playing out checklist for him. But when he crossed the foul line, he'd go like this to his brain and turn it on.
Ooh.
So when he walked across the foul line, brains on, and then he'd like walk back and turn it off and take those times in between innings to just kind of chill, get his water, his Gatorade, whatever. But I've been telling kids that in lessons. I'm like, hey, turn it on.
Yeah.
Your brain's not
Just
on.
even, yeah, even if you have to just like trick yourself into saying it, right? Like,
Yeah, flip that
I
switch.
always wanted to do that, be able to do that. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a certain technique, maybe that helps with that. I always kind of wanted to be able to lock it in, or, for the love of the game, clear the mechanism or whatever it's called, dude. But um, I saw this tweet from Tanner Carson, who was like a younger lad in baseball. Um, and it said, one of the best things I have heard from a coach is this quote, and it's, my job is to find someone better than you. Your job is to make sure I can't.
I read that to my dad. I thought that was awesome.
And it might sound harsh, right? But it's true. Um, at least in the college world, and then in pro sports, and then in life, dude. Right? And then in life, like, when did that kind of like set in for you? What do you think about that? And how might a student athlete or an athlete like be able to combat that and maybe turn the
Yeah.
odds kind of in their favor.
In college, it's that's probably even more true than pro ball, I think, because in college it's all about winning. Those coaches are going to retain a job. They're going to get a big contract somewhere else if they win. There was guys that would take, innings from me that were throwing submarine 67 miles an hour, but they were getting people out. And I was throwing hard and had good stuff, and I'd walk the world and whatever, and I wouldn't pitch for a week.
Yeah.
But in pro ball, it's more about development, and so that changed a little bit in pro ball, especially too. I was a free agent, had no money invested in me. Even if I completely, utterly dominated, there's going to be some guy that got healthy. Like I would be up here, guy got healthy, he'd jump me.
Yeah.
And it didn't necessarily, and that prepares you for life. There's going to be things you can't control. Life is not fair. No one owes you anything. I mean, I got buddies right now that are like, dude, I'm behind in this. Like, I can't, whatever. I'm like, dude, me too. I just know that I have priorities and I have people that rely on me. And I'm not going to dig myself a grave and just lie in it. And I think the
For
more
sure.
adversity you go through, it's hard for younger players, but the more adversity you go through in life, the better off you'll be as an athlete. It's awesome. But a guy like Paul Skeens, big time dude, huge arm. His first year wasn't awesome, and he's going to get hit by guys that he didn't get, or his pitchers are going to get hit that didn't get hit in college.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, some hot gossip on him. You know who his girlfriend is? She's some like massively famous like LSU gymnast.
Really?
Don't actually know her name, but she's got millions and millions of followers on Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. Like she's like doing like commercials, whatever. But she's like huge, and they're a hot new couple.
Are they living it up?
I don't know.
She's staying focused?
I read a brief article on it that he feels bad for her because when she comes to games, she's harassed, but he thinks the higher up he'll get, that'll change.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Guys are creepy. Guys are
super creepy, but that dude's got the bright future ahead of him. But like I watched some of his highlights or some of his outings from in Arizona. I don't think he hit one spot. He was throwing 100 miles an hour. But I don't think he hit one slot, and he's throwing 89 mile an hour sliders that like I don't know if they're ever competitive. He's disgusting. Really? Yeah, he's disgusting, but like guys, the higher up you get are going to be like, nah.
Maybe it's a feel thing. Maybe he'll get a feel for it. I don't know. The pro ball and the college ball is a little different. Dude, so just to kind of leave, a lasting impression on having a plan, kind of ending on like having a, not just a positive mindset, but having a plan, sticking maybe to something, trying to win those 14, 15, 16 seconds in between pitches. Dude, for certain hitters, right? You had certain plans depending on where they hit in the order. If they were a speed guy, as opposed to a home run guy, a power threat dude. Those plans change, right? And you kind of go on what you're feeling that day, what your weakness is, what your strength is, trying to play on their weaknesses and strengths and stuff. Like if you are going up against a power hitter as opposed to a contact hitter, man, what would that plan or approach look like, and why?
Yes, for a contact hitter, like what was his name? Ty Kelly. Do you remember him?
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
With the Mets, scrawny little guy, but he gave me the fits every time I faced him. And then
scrappy.
There was what was the dude's name with the Angels? He hit like first in the lineup when we were there. Salt Lake guy. I think he's a second baseman now.
Yep. Dude, so he's back in AAA, man.
Is he really? He was one of the best hitters I faced. I swear. Fletcher.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Fletcher. He's more of a contact guy. He had some gap
Hands
power.
high and swung down. Poof.
Yeah. So like a guy like that, it's a little different for me because I threw sinkers at 90 miles an hour. I wasn't going to blow you away. I kind of wanted you to hit it. Um, so with those contact guys, my plan didn't change necessarily as much. But with the big power guys, I just didn't want to get anything up. And now with this, launch angle and all these swings and stuff, like I knew that if I left my 90-mile-an-hour sinker, my 89, 91-mile-an-hour sinker up here, I got hurt. With the contact guys, there'd be 13, 14 pitch at bats sometimes. And it was like, who's giving in? And there's times
Yeah.
like they'd get a hit off me up the middle, choppy home run after or choppy hit after 14 pitches. And I'd look at him run down the line and be like, you win. But my plan really wasn't much different from contact guys. The only thing that changed with power guys is I didn't want to leave it up. I didn't have the best slider, and I damn sure didn't want to leave a slider up. So I knew
So
that if I
what
was going to miss, it better be a good miss.
what about like lefties and righties? Did your plan or approach change depending on, what side he stood on?
Yeah, so if say it was a lefty power hitter, okay, I did not, or for you, I didn't want to miss down and in to the lefty. That's kind of like the cardinal rule. That's kind of like the lefty sweet spot. I tried to maybe not nibble, but I wanted to. If I was going to come in on you, it was going to be like a four seam, kind of in on your hands, or maybe up over the middle of the plate. But then I wanted to kind of get away until you showed me that you could hit that. Jarrett Parker had a long
Yeah.
career. I remember I threw him. He was
Angels.
playing in Salt Lake too.
Triple
I
A.
threw him like a 93-mile-an-hour sinker, like in the other batter's box, away from him. He hit like a double off the wall, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to throw that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's like there's like this. I wanted to pitch to my strength, and I didn't want to pitch necessarily to their weaknesses unless it was like such an exploited weakness that I knew I could get away with it. But if they're like, hey, this guy hates these sweeping sliders over the middle of the plate, I'd be like, well, I don't really throw a sweeping slider. I steal strikes with it, and I
Yeah.
might get lucky in burying one.
I love it. I love
So
it.
you got to know what your strengths are, and if you don't know, be real with yourself.
Hell yeah. Dude, maybe in the next, in the future, maybe we'll hit on some more like approach stuff. We can dedicate some more time to it and kind of like break it down. Certain
Well, yeah, if you're facing
situations.
a guy that threw 100 miles an hour, are you choking up?
Yeah. Dude,
Choking
so
up? Are you shortening your swing? Are you no leg kick?
yeah. So dude, that's something that I saw a lot of players do recently, like later in my career, right? Towards the back end, not so much doing a leg kick, not so much doing a toe tap, not so much like trying to let it fly, but really shortening their stride, especially with two strikes, dude. I always tried to kind of implement that, but I felt like the more that I altered like my swing or altered
So I was
kind of like
curious
my
about.
mechanics in the box, dude, I actually did more harm than good. So it was a lot about timing, dude. For me, like timing, if my timing was off, dude, I was in trouble. So
Yeah.
like if it is a guy that's throwing 88, 90 with some movement, or if it's a dude throwing 102, like it all comes down to timing. Um, yeah, yeah, the weight of the bats can kind of like mess with the timing. Anything, dude. So choking up, like if you don't practice it in BP, maybe taking a two strike round, choking up, getting on the plate.
Opposite field.
I was on the plate. Um, so just kind of like playing around with that stuff.
Now, did you
BP's
have
big.
did you have three bats you'd bring down to the dugout, and one was 30 ounces, one was 31, maybe one was whatever? And did you like, hey, this guy's throwing hard, I'm going to get a lighter bat?
Dude, I kind of it's a good question, dude. I think I kind of just I rolled with whatever I grabbed.
Yeah,
So like
I
obviously I
like that.
was yeah, yeah, yeah. I was aware of what bats I was taking, but dude, I kind of just maybe I should have taken that a little bit more seriously. Maybe have a heavy bat for certain pitchers and a light bat for others, dude. But nah, I
Oh, I'd
didn't.
respect a guy more if he was like, "This is my bat. This is what I use. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter if you're throwing 120 or 10 miles an hour. Like, this is my bat." I think that'd
for
be kind of
sure,
cool.
dude.
I just didn't know if there's like other weapons for certain situations.
That might have been a good idea, dude. I shit, I would have loved to have been able to do that, pull that out of the arsenal, dude. But
Let's go
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Let's just go
maybe,
back.
yeah, yeah, that'd be nice. Hit
Yeah.
a couple more home runs, dude. But
I think for like the
yeah,
plan thing for like a kid, say you're a high school kid and you got pretty good stuff, like execute pitches, throw strikes, and pitch to your strengths if you know what those are until someone can beat you. If a guy in the lineup, maybe there's
ooh,
one, maybe two in a high school lineup that knows what they're doing, if that guy, remember those at bats. If you threw a elevated fastball, four seam down the middle, and he cranked it for, right center gap or something, like maybe you don't throw that again. I don't know. There's stubborn kids, man. When I was that age, I was like, I'm gonna try to throw it harder.
yeah,
I'll throw the same spot and I'll blow it by him. Same thing would happen again. You gotta learn from your mistakes, and like I swear, I'll touch on it again. But the more you get your ass kicked a little bit, the better. And it's like if you still want to play this game, or you still want to get that big time job, but you can't bounce back or you can't rebound when you're down in the dirt, like then this isn't for you. That dream job you've been wanting is not for you.
100%.
It's tough, but that's real.
It's a cold world, dude.
Yeah.
It's a cold world. But dude, that's man, that's all I got. That's all I got over here, dude. Is there you got anything else you want to throw in there, man? We need to jump on here again soon and dive into some more stuff.
Yeah, I mean, don't just put some stuff out in the universe that I beat Matt Flimmer in our fantasy football championship.
Okay. Good vibes.
He was a pitching coach at Cal. I don't know if you did you ever
Was he?
pitch it or hit against Matt Flimmer?
No, I don't think so, dude.
He was in AAA with me, kind of similar guy to me. Um, yeah, he might be a good guy to get on here sometime.
Okay. I like that. I look into him. Look into that, dude. I yeah, best of luck in the fantasy football, dude. Thank you everybody for tuning in. David, thank you for being here, brother. We'll catch everybody again soon.